Two men charged for the armed robbery of the Deputy Prime Minister. Murder at a peace gathering. 7 people shot last night, one of them fatally.
It was pure pandemonium.
The Christian Council speaks out against crime tonight. Plus, the Salvation Army says it needs your help to spread hope this Christmas season. Those stories and more coming up. I'm Nikia DeVoe, and this is NB12. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Cable 12 Studios. Here are the stories coming out of the NB12 newsroom this evening. 25-year-old Tyrone Knowles Jr. and 21-year-old Mark McCartney are two of the men police believe forced their way into Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis's house and robbed him and his wife of more than $100,000 worth of items. The pair was brought to court this afternoon, where the magistrate detailed what was taken from the DPM's home. Top officials from the Central Detective Unit were among the officers who escorted Knowles in the gray shirt and McCartney in the white shirt to court this afternoon, where they stood before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt. Together, the men were charged with 3 counts of armed robbery. They're accused of stealing $100,465 worth of items from Davis, who was acting as Prime Minister when the robbery took place on December 9th. The items included a gold bracelet valued at $7,000, a wallet worth $450, a $200 jewelry box, a credit card, a driver's license, and $93,000 worth of jewelry. The men are also accused of robbing the Deputy Prime Minister's wife, Anne-Marie Davis, of $2,953 cash and stealing $10 from Wilbur Forbes Seymour. Knowles, who told the court that he is from Black Point, Exuma, and only comes to Nassau on his breaks, was charged with dishonestly receiving a black jewelry box and jewelry totaling $2,700. He was also charged with an additional count of armed robbery and 1 count of receiving. Knowles is accused of stealing the getaway vehicle, a 2012 silver Honda Accord, from Avery Johnson. The men were not required to enter a plea to any of the charges. Prosecutors plan to fast-track the case to the Supreme Court by a voluntary bill of indictment. Chief Magistrate Ferguson Pratt said that due to the national significance of the matter, the prosecution should seek to proceed as soon as possible. When the prosecutor indicated that they would be ready by mid-February, the Chief Magistrate said that would not be soon enough. She referred to the matter as very serious, stating that while Knowles and McCartney are innocent until proven guilty, they are accused of robbing the person who at the time was acting as the highest office in the country. The men will return to court on January 29, 2014. Last Monday, police said 3 armed men drove onto Davis's property, accosted his unarmed chauffeur, and robbed Davis and his wife at gunpoint in their home. According to police, the masked men entered Davis's home after 7 a.m. after they assaulted the chauffeur outside. Well, police have 2 more men in custody who have yet to be arraigned for that armed robbery, and another man they believe was involved in the incident is still at large. Superintendent Stephen Dean said police have received several tips from the public, and they're confident they will catch 27-year-old Jeffrey King, aka Bongo.
We are asking the still to turn itself in immediately. We are getting good support from the public. Since that was promulgated in the media, the public have been calling us. We are getting tips from persons. So we are checking every lead, and we feel confident that we'll find him, because New Providence is a small place and our people have reached that point that they don't want to see criminals among them. That's why we are able to get successful arrests. So people are calling in. So we believe we should have him in custody soon.
A man was shot and killed while 6 others had to be treated in hospital last night after a community party promoting peace was disrupted by yet another incident of gun violence. Police led the press on a walkabout of the scene this morning, where one of the victims gave his account of what happened. Dana Smith has all the details.
One of the 7 victims who was shot last night right here on Rupert Dean Lane described the pandemonium that was sparked after gunmen opened fire at a local gathering for peace.
The victim, who did not want to be identified, said he heard gunshots and then his arm and leg went numb. He fell to the ground, he said, before attempting to crawl to safety.
All I heard was gunshots, just gunshots. I don't know who it was, because honestly the person just came from the back of everyone and just started open fire. It was pure pandemonium. Everyone was trying to get to safety. No one knowing exactly where the shooters are coming from or where the bullets are coming from, but they were just trying to get to some type of safety.
The shooting took place around 11:30 p.m. at a weekly event residents refer to as Bring Back the Peace in Baintown, according to the victim, who was one of 6 who survived the shooting, which left another dead. The victim doesn't live in the area, although he has family and friends who do. He said he came purely for the celebration and to, quote, just stand up and listen to the music.
After realizing I got hit, I just fell to the ground. But after seeing that the guys were still hearing gunshots, I just tried to crawl my way out. That's how come I got a few bruises on my knees. It was a party inside the yard.
The victim said his cousin, who attended the gathering with him, was also shot and left in hospital. He added that in wake of this latest incident, he doesn't feel safe and took note of the recent robbery of Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis.
I was hit in the right arm, the left thigh, and the face.
Now, how do you feel, surviving this? Do you feel grateful for life?
Thank God for life. Thanking him for life.
What do you think of the crime in this country?
From it and reach the acting prime minister, like I said to people, I don't expect the ordinary Bahamian citizen to feel safe, honestly. And I definitely don't.
It was in the wake of this latest shooting that more than 50 police officers took to the streets this morning to gather information and assure the community a police presence.
We want to show them that despite all what is happening, that the police is still concerned about their security, and we will ensure that they get the adequate security, immaterial to which part of New Providence they might be. But there are some who don't want to see communities get together, who will always be disruptive despite good intentions of community leaders who are trying to get together. So we want to make sure that people still can operate in their community, have socials in their community, and a safe environment. They should be free to socialize. They should be free to come together as community leaders and rally up the community together.
Police say they have no leads at this time and are appealing to members of the public to come forward with information. Reporting for MB12, I'm Dana Smith.
More than 400 firearms have been confiscated by police since the start of the year, with police seizing just 2 yesterday. Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade says that figure is amazing for a country where firearms are illegal. He says similar figures are reported each year. For the first 11 months of 2012, police seized 445 guns in the Bahamas, according to police. In 2011, during the same period, police seized about 500 weapons. Greenslade yesterday making an appeal to young men to cease and desist a life of crime and turn their guns over to someone they can trust.
If you are in possession of an illegal firearm and you deem yourself to be an upstanding citizen, you are not. It's a crime. Turn the weapon in. Turn it into someone that you can trust, or place it in an area and notify us so that we can find it. Every gun that we remove from the streets of the city, and certainly from the communities of the Bahamas, saves a life.
This as authorities try to crack down on the number of guns entering the country illegally. Back in September, Prime Minister Perry Christie issued an appeal to gun-producing countries to enhance efforts to restrict illegal firearms trafficking. Well, as the murder count continues to climb, crime continues to be an issue the country seeks the answer to. Earlier this week, Tourism Minister Obi Wilchcombe suggested launching a love campaign to combat the negativity that leads to criminal activity. But Christian Council President Reverend Dr. Ranford Patterson says what the country needs now is action, not publicity. Christina McNeil has more in this report.
All hands need to be on deck in order to eradicate crime, according to Christian Council President Reverend Dr. Ranford Patterson. This as he appealed to Bahamians to do their part in the fight against crime rather than just talk about it. Nearly 300 pastors gave suggestions to help the crime fight back in October as the Ministry of National Security held a forum on crime. Since then, Patterson says there has been an ongoing dialogue on solutions to the problem, but that is not enough.
I don't believe that a one-time forum is going to do it. There need to be constant follow-up. There needs to be strategically planned programs that will take place as a result of the meetings that we've had. And if that is not happening, then I think we are just doing a lot of publicity. And the country don't need publicity right now. We need action.
Patterson says if action is not taken soon, the country will be in a worse state than it is now. But everyone needs to take responsibility.
These problems can be solved because I believe every one of the crimes that has been committed, somebody knows who did it. They do. This is not isolated. NASA's 21/7. They know who's doing this. And I call on them to stop. And I call on parents, I call on family members to turn them in.
He notes that while some may ask, where did we go wrong, he believes there is still hope.
I believe that we need to come together, I'm assuming that Obi Wiscombe is talking about everybody coming together and sitting at the table and talking. We talk this, but we need to start doing it. We must reach that generation before it's too late.
This comes as Wiscombe has called for more focus on breaking the criminal mindset early on rather than focusing on punitive solutions. Reporting for NB12, I'm Christina McNeil.
Police are tonight also trying to determine what happened to a 1-year-old boy who was brought into the Marsh Harbor Clinic in Abaco with injuries around 8:45 p.m. yesterday. Police claim the child was left at home with a friend of the mother while she was at work. The child was last listed in serious condition after he was airlifted to New Providence for further medical attention. Police say they are aggressively investigating the matter.